Welcome to Smart Conserver.
My major use of electricity for which I am billed occurs at nights. It might be the same for you too if you are not at home in the days. So, when it's dark outside, I will need to turn on a light or two inside just to be able to look for anything within a room. There's one place in the house I notice that is visited often by everyone in my household at nights, and it's a kitchen. I wonder why. Is that the same for you? I don't know why, but my kitchen is the most visited place in the entire house at nights. Well, because I noticed this years ago and I wanted to use the kitchen switch less, I purchased a rechargeable elongated light. I think you might know them. It's the one with the batteries that's in it that you have to charge from time to time. So I figured that placing this light at the right spot in the kitchen would provide great illumination in the majority of the house. Plus, it would mean not using the light people. Also, I would have this light to use in case of a storm or hurricane. People tend to use this to give light during a hurricane, and purchasing something similar was what I think I needed. People are moving away from the home sweet home lamps and even the candles, so they started purchasing the rechargeable elongated lights. These would require charging to maintain the power just to give off a light. The lights would only last a little while, then it needed to be charged. It wasn't worth it as the batteries gave up quickly. Then I went to an automotive store and saw an elongated 12-volt light with on and off switch. I figured that if I set it up on a battery, it would work. I wanted a light that I could use every day, especially if and when we had a hurricane or a power cut. I could switch on my light and go about my usual business. I purchased two of the lights. I set up one at my parents' home on the veranda and one at my home in the kitchen. Both lights were set up to used car batteries. Yes, you heard, used car batteries. That's a battery that is unable to start your car, as the experts will tell you that it doesn't have the power anymore to start up the car. That's the battery I'm speaking of. The used battery was carefully hidden, placed on a wooden stand, or just a piece of wood, and the light with this battery lasted for months. The one at my parents' home was turned on every night for long periods, while the one at my home was turned on and off nightly when required for use. It's strange. When I set up this light, sometimes I'm inside and I don't know that the light was out. I couldn't tell that there was a power cut because my light was on inside. And if you stay on the outside and looking through the glass windows, you would swear I have solar power at the time in here. That time I didn't have anything but this battery operated light. Well, when both batteries are drained, my husband would set up a battery charger on it and charge the batteries until full. After a number of years and at least two hurricanes passed, my parents' light went bad. The switch on the light itself went bad and the tube light showed black. The light was done, spent, no longer useful. Well, mine kept going. It lasted for an additional 2 years. Then it was gone. And so did the battery. It was gone as well. So I went online to search for a 12-volt light, one that would give me that daylight color and have an on and off switch, as I could attach it back to a used battery, not that same battery, another battery. I found a set of two which the seller stated that it had an on and off switch. When it came, there was no switch. I complained and was given a full refund. I got the lights adapted and a switch was attached. It was used for the same purpose as before. I could have bought a solar charged light and I fixed it in the spot where I wanted it. But taking that light down daily and the memory I need to have to get it in the sun to be charged to use at night, that was too much of a hassle for me. I don't want the trouble to be charging daily. It has been years since I have the lights with the adapted switches, and now, due to wear and tear, it gave way. The lights were still operational, but the switch started to pull apart. I decided to buy similar lights, and this time ensure that the lights have switches. I found a set of 4 lights with 72 LEDs on each light, and yes, each have a switch. Let me show you the switch. Look at it, neatly placed and labeled by the manufacturers, with the stroke showing it's in an on mode and the O or 0 showing off mode. I purchased the 4, even though I know I only have use for 2. The extra 2 will be kept for just in case. The lights came pretty quickly and it was inspected and tested. Inspected to ensure that the switches were actually included and the lights were not broken, and it was tested to make sure that the lights were working as it should. To test the lights, we had to use a 12-volt car battery. Please, it cannot use electricity as the current these light uses are 12 volts and your electric plug carries 120 volt or 220 volts depending on how your homes are wired. Another thing as well, the lights purchased uses DC current and your homes use AC current, so don't plug it in there, please. It's now time for the lights to be properly installed. This time, I wanted to use a trunking to eliminate the exposure of wires, so the smallest trunking would be used. I don't know the size of the trunkings available, but I figured visiting a hardware, there would be samples for me to choose. And I wanted the trunking that's about 1/2 inch in width, but these things are stated in millimeter, so I would have to see the trunking first to make an informed purchase. I went to the hardware, found the one that I wanted. It was 16 millimeter and it came in 10 feet length. For the area to be covered, I only wanted one length. As a matter of fact, I don't even think I would use the entire length. So about the 16 millimeter trunking, and now it was installation time. The trunking was cut to the desired length and the covering of the 2-sided tape was removed and the trunking pressed on to secure it in place. We didn't need to drill it. It had the adhesive backing, so it was good. The LED light came with a 2-sided tape as well, and this was affixed and placed in the spot the light was needed. Now it's time for the wire to be used to be tested. Yeah, we have to test the wire. The wire to be used had to be tested as the colors of the wires was brown and blue. Normally, wire colors are red and black. So with these colors, you can't tell which wire was positive and which wire was negative. The wire was tested using a multimeter. where it was shown that if the polarity was reversed, then the meter would show a negative, and when it was tested correctly, then the negative would not show on the multimeter. So now we are satisfied that the blue wire was a positive and the brown was a negative. The blue wire was attached to the red wire on the light and taped. When the brown wire was attached to the black wire on the light, then the light started to show. If the polarity was wrong, then the LED light would not light up. Yeah, it's fine. The light is now in place, attached to a 12-volt battery, so I can use it at night without JPS. Yeah, it feels good. Remember, the LED light is a 12-volt one. Hence, I had to use it back on a 12-volt battery. So, I can use my light even in the most grim weather conditions. My house will be lighted up. Another benefit is that this light is that you have it on. You can have it on for the entire day if you so desire, as the light people will not be able to charge you for a cent that this light emits. Hopefully, we will not experience a storm or a hurricane, but if we do, I am ready. You can set up one like this too. Just place it in a central spot where it can benefit the entire home in case you need it. I'm not sure if this can be done as a do-it-yourself task, as it will need a little technical skill. But in case you need to try it, I can tell you it's suitable for purpose.
You have come to the end of another series. Join us next time for more ways to conserve.